Hi there, and welcome back to Pronunciation with Paul. The title of my lesson today is Sit Tight, Tom. Sit tight, Tom. What do you believe our lesson is to be about today? Well, you'll notice in that title that I have some repeated consonants. The T, sit tight, tight, Tom. So, if you are guessing that we're going to deal with repeated consonants and their treatment in English, you're right. That's exactly what we're going to discuss. And here are some phrases on your screen now, all exemplifying the same repeated consonant, the same adjacent consonant, the same consonant next to each other. And unlike in other languages where both consonants would be honored, sounded, in English it's pretty much the rule, even in very formal situations, to weaken the first of those two. And in the case of plosive consonants, as these are, exploding consonants, to simply not explode them. To form them, to have the closure stage of the consonant, but not the release. So instead of ripe, we say ripe. And you hear the closure of the consonant, but not the release. You release the second. Ripe plum. Sit tight. Like cake. Rob brings. Mad dog. Big girl. That is the correct and proper way to treat repeated consonants in English. Maybe it's not the rule in your language, but in English it certainly is. Would you like to practice those? I'll say them for you. I'll leave a pause for you to repeat. Here we go. Ripe plum. Sit tight. Like cake. Rob brings. Mad dog. Big girl. You get the idea? Now you're going to see some 3 phrases on your screen where the repeated consonant is not exactly the same. It's similar, but still the same rule applies. It's wrong to say laptop, or sit down, or talk of ghosts. I can think of no situation where, unless you were to really separate those words, that you would want to explode both of those plosives. You could say sit down, but it's not really, they're not really adjacent anymore, are they? You've separated the words. So laptop, sit down, talk ghosts. Would you like to try those? Here we go. Laptop. Sit down. Talk ghosts. So even though they are not identical, they are similar, and the first of the pair gets weakened. Following the progression, even when I couple 2 quite different consonants, look at the words on your screen now. They're quite dissimilar. They're not the same. They're not similar. They're dissimilar. Even in this situation, it is right and proper and correct to weaken the first of the pair. So it's object rather than object. And it's ignore rather than ignore. And it's observe rather than observe, etc. Though you can probably tell that the options are greater the more dissimilar the consonants. In a very formal situation, I might say observe or ignore or object. But in casual conversation, in connected speech, in all but the most emphatic or formal situations, it's still proper and correct and acceptable to weaken the first of those pairs. Like this: object, ignore, observe, acknowledge, advice. Try them? Try them for yourself. Here we go. Object or object. One is the verb and one is the noun. Ignore. Observe. Acknowledge. Advice. There we have it. That's the way English is. I'm going to deal with 5 sentences, give you some practice now in this new trick that you've learned. And here's the first of those sentences on your screen now. And you'll see that I've got separate adjacent consonants of the same type. So I will say it. I'll leave a pause for you to repeat. So listen carefully. The big girls went 2 separate times. Try it again. The big girls went 2 separate times. Isn't it funny how you can actually hear that there is a consonant there? You just don't hear it. You just know there is one because I've held the first one a little bit longer. I didn't say big girls, I said big girls. I held the consonant. There's a little tiny silence. And I didn't say went to, I said went to. And I didn't say separate times, I said separate times. So in the case of a plosive consonant, we might hold the stop stage a little longer. Let's try this one more time. I'll say it, you repeat it. Here we go. The big girls went 2 separate times. And here's the second of our 5 sentences. The same things are going on. This time I've introduced an N, which is nothing like a plosive, like a t. But even so, ten neat. We hold the first and use the second. Here we go. Fred didn't observe the 10 neat tricks. And number 3. This is an interesting one. Properly, formally, we would say guest list contained. But we are often very lazy to say guest list contained, dropping those final T's. And that's what I'll do this time. Imitate that, please. The guest list contained 10 names. Try it again. The guest list contained 10 names. And here's number 4. Now, I teach my American actors, my British and American actors, to say facts. But that's a very difficult cluster of consonants. And most of them have to work very hard to get that skill, to say kts. The truth is that most of us in everyday conversation turn facts into F-A-X, facts. And we just don't explode the T. I will do that here, and you should imitate. Here we go. If 5 facts don't teach children normal lessons, let's stop, please. Your turn. Again. If 5 facts don't teach children normal lessons, let's stop, please. There is one interesting little cluster in this sentence. Did you notice I had a repeated ch sound? And if Spanish is your language, you might even have difficulty with ch. Ch, 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 ch. You might, some of my Spanish friends say tits, tilde. So try ch, ch, ch. Teach children. Now, there's a little exception to the rule. I think most English speakers would try to produce both ch sounds. I think teach children sounds weird. Teach children. Teach children. Teach children. The first is a little weakened still, and the second is much stronger, but the first one is released. Try it again. If 5 facts don't teach children normal lessons, let's stop, please. And here's the last one for the day. I had fun with this sentence. Who's seen 97 mad dogs and cute, quick cats? Who's seen 97 mad dogs and cute, quick cats? Your turn. So seen 90. Even the N and the M, it's 7 mad, 7 mad. That N is weakened in anticipation of the M. 7 mad. Even changes a little bit into an M. 7 mad, 7 mad. We have D's, mad dogs. Cute, quick cats. Cute, quick cats. Cute, quick cats. Should we try it one more time? Here we go. Who's seen 97 mad dogs and cute, quick cats? And that's our lesson for today. I called it Sit Tight, Tom. You know that idiom, sit tight? It means stay where you are. Don't move. Sit tight. And it's been a lesson on how English speakers treat repeated consonants, similar or even dissimilar consonants when they are adjacent next to each other. I hope that's helped you move a little closer towards a natural, native style of English speech. See you next time. Bye-bye.